Hey guys, long time no talk, I know. So, if you follow me on Snapchat and on Instagram, you'll know that this tutorial was quite the hassle to film. I started off with something completely different, not even what I have on right now. I was trying to do something a little bit more creative, a little bit more avant-garde, definitely holiday still. But it just took a turn for the worst. I did ask you guys if you wanted me to continue with that look, and I was going to initially, and a lot of you did say to go ahead and just finish it off because you were kind of liking the direction it was going. And a few of you said no for good reasons, and always know that constructive criticism is never a bad thing, and I will always listen to your suggestions only because that's going to make me better. But it's also really cool to see how everybody has a different opinion as far as what colors they like, color combinations and stuff like that, because the makeup can be good overall, like everything is really clean, blended, I mean just awesome makeup application, but you could not like it just because of the color scheme or glitter texture, stuff like that. So those are things to always keep in mind. But like I said, thank you for everyone who gave me their input. I really appreciate it. And like I said, constructive criticism is always a good thing, but whenever you're just being mean, then that's when you know you're being mean, and that's not nice at all. But none of you guys were mean or anything like that, and y'all are awesome. But anyway, so yeah, I had to scrap that idea. Like I said, it wasn't because of the initial look, it was just because of the way the products started to settle on my face, and it was really ugly, and I couldn't deal with it. So I definitely had to just remove it. So I kind of brainstormed and went back to my notes, and a lot of you guys have asked for more cool tone looks. I've definitely been trying my best to incorporate more cool tone colors into my makeup look, especially on Instagram and stuff. And so I decided to go ahead and give another cool tone look a stab. I will say that I do prefer to do cool tone smoky eyes, but I know that there's a different array of looks to do with cool tones, but like I said, that's just right now how I'm comfortable with it. But I do plan to kind of broaden my horizons and definitely do more cool tone looks other than just a cool tone smoky eye. But I really did want to do this smoky eye because of some new products that I got in. Again, if you follow me on Snap, you probably saw these already. But there's a brand called Ready to Wear New York, and I believe it's sold on the shopping network, but I'll list their info and stuff. And this shadow was basically what I really wanted to use because it is gorgeous. It's more like a pressed pigment, and that's what I have all over the lid, and I am just absolutely obsessed with it. I love it. So I hope you guys like this look. I do think it's more of like a party look. Definitely a great New Year's Eve look for those of you that want to rock a classic smoky eye. The whole look is pretty cool toned, but I would also wear this on Christmas, like hands down, just because it's very, I don't know, it's just very holiday and party. New Year's Eve maybe comes to mind first, but like I said, I would still definitely wear this on Christmas. I don't know what I'm going to wear on Christmas, so I don't know. Stay tuned for that. I'll probably post my makeup on Instagram or something, but I don't really know yet. So anyway, I hope you guys like this tutorial. If you do, let me know down below. Give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys hopefully on Wednesday with a new one. So hope you enjoy. Let's move on to the tutorial.
Okay guys, so to start off this look, I'm first taking my MAC Paint Pot in Soft Ochre and using my Luxie Large Fluff Brush to just press this all over the entire lid space to cancel out any redness and to prime our eyelid. I'm then taking just any highlighting powder and just pressing this on top of that to set it. I'm using the Morphe 35K palette, and we're first going to be taking this really light taupe shade, all matte, and I'm using a Luxie Large Blending Brush to define my crease with this and use this as a transition shade, just going back and forth. Then I'm going to be taking this deeper matte taupe brown, and I'm going to be using the same Luxie brush to just go over that area and making sure to go in circular motions and back and forth as well. I'm then going to be taking this much deeper chocolate brown. It has a little bit of red to it, and again, just going over in that same area with the same brush to layer on these products for a great blend. Here's where we're going to bring in a lot of cool tones, so I'm taking this really matte cool tone bluish gray, and on that same brush once again, making sure to just go over on top of all of this. The cool thing about cool tones is that even though they're not very dark, when you layer them, they tend to make it look darker than what it is. Then I'm going to be taking the Ready to Wear Beauty Gel Eyeliner in Plum. This is more of like a cream shadow in my opinion, but it is an eyeliner. And what I really like about this is that it's very smooth, creamy, and it's metallic. So I'm taking a Luxie brush and just using this to apply all over my entire eyelid space up into my crease very carefully. I'm then going to be taking a much smaller blending brush and taking this black shadow from the same Morphe palette and pressing this up against the inner C of my eye, and also taking this and blending it upward towards the outer V of my eye and very lightly touching into my crease slightly. I'm then going to be taking this different type of black because it has more of a metallic shine to it with that same brush, and this is where we're going to connect those two outer V and inner C corners over together. So we're going to just kind of go over our entire crease area in circular motions as well, and then we're going to start to blend that out really well. And I'm taking this cool tone metallic, it's like a black slash gray, almost taupey gunmetal, I guess you could say. And again, just using this to really buff out the crease and to blend everything well together, and then going in once again with that large brush to fluff everything out and blend it all out. Like I said, fluff. This shadow is the star of the show. This is also from Ready to Wear. This is their Just Pearl eyeshadow in aubergine, and it is so gorgeous. I'm using that same brush we used to apply that gel liner, and as you can tell, it is just so shiny, so glittery, but in the best way possible because it's not very chunky, it is very smooth. I really do think this is more like a pressed pigment. I'm then taking that small blending brush once again, picking up a little bit more of a taupe matte shadow and just running this over my entire crease area for a nicer blend. I'm then going to be taking Sigma's gel liner in Wicked and applying my eyeliner as normal. What I'm doing a little bit differently lately is kind of having my tail go a little bit more upward, just because it looks really nice to kind of have a thicker wing for a look like this. But since it's more upward, the incline is steeper when I connect it to my lid, so you can still see a good amount of my lid space and show off the shadow. To clean up the tail of the wing and correct my under eye area, I'm using Bobbi Brown's Tinted Eye Brightener and just using this, like I said, to clean up my wing. I'm then going to be taking some mascara and applying this to my upper lashes, and then applying my falsies. These are Shop Violet's Voss lashes in Vamptress. I'm then taking the Benefit Porefessional and placing this just basically on the center of my face where I tend to have larger pores. And then for a primer to really make sure our makeup lasts all night, I'm using the Nivea Men Aftershave Balm and applying this all over my entire face. Like I said before, it's good to use a pore filler before going in with this because this does not fill pores. This is just to help your makeup stick and last longer. For foundation, I'm using the NARS All Day Luminous foundation. I am in the shade Deville, and this is about 3 pumps, and I like to dot all over my face, and then I'm blending it out with the Marc Jacobs face brush. You can use any dense big foundation brush or kabuki brush. It'll blend it out just as beautifully and easily. I like to go in circular motions with this foundation since it is very thin. You don't need to go in the stippling motions that I usually do because the coverage of this is already really bomb. You could also use a beauty blender if you want a more sheer coverage. Oh my god, so rude. Sorry, my phone went off. But anyway, back to the tutorial. Then I'm going to be taking Revlon's Colorstay concealer in the shade Light, and I'm placing this directly right underneath my eye area and also dragging it down the side of my nose and tapering it off onto the tops of my cheekbones. I'm also going to be placing this concealer right on the bridge of my nose and also on the center of my forehead, and using the black beauty blender dampened to really blend this out. I've said this before, the black beauty blender is my favorite. I don't know why, I just think it blends everything out better than the other ones, but any beauty blender will work. I'm just particular to this one. I'm then taking the middle contour shade from the Anastasia Fair Cream Contour Kit and using the butt of my beauty blender to contour my forehead. So just pressing this up against my hairline and fading it out towards the center of my forehead. I'm then going to be taking the lightest contour shade with the other butt of the other side of the butt of my beauty blender to press this up against my under jaw area. Then taking my e.l.f. stippling brush and the darkest contour shade and placing this right in the hollow of my cheek, and then using my beauty blender to further blend it out and kind of soften it up a bit. I'm then going to be taking the highlight shade, the first one from that kit, and just pressing this right up against underneath my contour. And then taking the next highlight shade across from the other one that I use to press up against my center of the forehead and also my inner cheek area. I've been loving to contour this way, and I'm just growing so fond of the Anastasia Cream Contour Kit. It is just like heaven for me. I absolutely love it. The shades are so great for really fair skin tones. I'm then contouring my lip and nose area. I will have a more in-depth video of this coming very soon, so for now let's just skip over it. I'm taking my Ben Nye luxury powder in the shade Cameo and just using my contour sponge with the flat edge of it to press up against the powder on all the areas where I highlighted. So we're basically gonna let this bake while I do my brows off camera. So once my brows are done, I'm going to come back in, still have the baking on, and I'm taking my Benefit Hoola bronzer and just really warming up my cheek area and also right across the top of my forehead and also across the tip of my nose and tip of my chin as well. Once our bronzer is applied, I then blended away all of the excess baking powder, and then I'm going to be taking a Luxie tapered highlighting brush using these two highlight shades from the NYX contour kit and just pressing this up against my under eye area, bridge of my nose, and center of my forehead, basically wherever we highlighted. I'm then going to be taking the shade Sculpt from that NYX contour kit and using a Luxie large angle brush to just further define our cheek contours, going upward in circular motions. As you can tell, I really like to use the tip of that brush to hollow out my cheek area instead of using the whole brush head itself. And then again, just further sharpening up my nose contour with that same contour shade. Again, I'll go into more depth in this later. I'm then taking the ColourPop Super Shock cheek color in Spoon and using my ring finger to really press this up against the top of my cheekbones. And then for highlight, I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills highlighter in Starlight. I wanted to use a different highlighter for this because I feel like I've been using this one a lot, but honestly guys, this has become one of my favorite highlighters. I am just loving it so much, and I tried my best to try something else today, but I couldn't do it. I just got drawn back to this because it is so beautiful and I absolutely love the color of this highlight. I'm also going to be taking this across the top of my Cupid's bow and down the bridge of my nose with a smaller eyeshadow brush. And then the only warm color basically from this whole look is going to be my blush color. This is Milani's Baked Blush in Luminoso. I am using a large powder brush from Luxie and just pressing this up against my apples of my cheek all the way up towards my hairline. And then I'm going to be taking the Benefit Give Me Brow Gel and just really trying to focus on the inner part of my brows and pushing those brow hairs upward. I just find that a really thick, kind of unruly brow complements a smoky eye really well. It just adds a little bit more intensity and drama. Then I'm taking that same Anastasia highlighter and pressing this up against my inner tear duct. I didn't want to do this on my brow bone, only the tear duct, because I really like the matte colors we have going on my brow bone. I didn't get this part. I actually had placed that gel liner we used as a base on our lid in my waterline, but I totally forgot to film that, but I do have that in my waterline, so there's more of like a metallic sheen in my waterline, adding a little bit more of a pop and reflective aspect to the look. I'm then taking the darkest MAC black shadow with a MAC 212 brush and pressing this up against my bottom lashes, then taking a Mary Kay smudge brush and the darkest brown we use and layering that right on top of this black shadow just to kind of further darken it up before we go in and start to smoke everything out. I'm then going to be taking a pencil brush also from Mary Kay and just using one of the lighter matte taupe shades to just further blend and smoke everything out. And then I'm going to be just taking a little bit of mascara just underneath my bottom lashes, and then taking the NYC liquid liner pen just to darken up my wing again, because with all the powder products it can kind of get a little powdery and faded a little bit. And then to set everything off, I'm using my Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray. By the way, the lip color is NYX Sandstorm Liquid Lip Suede. I just got a horrible clip of me putting it on, like you couldn't even see it, so that is why I didn't have it in there, but that is the lip color that I am wearing. So this is a completed look. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, let me know down below, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.